From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big day here on Metaverse and crypto with LALATE, with the best Metaverse cryptocurrency coins for you to invest in and the coins to buy in the face of a Metaverse crypto crash still underway. I'm going to go over the best coins, but it's a substantive and an analytical video you're going to get across the board. We're going to look at why the downturn of Bitcoin and Ethereum gives us a price target to get into the Metaverse coins at a price point that's true deliciousness. We'll understand first what the Metaverse is. We'll be looking at the different platforms so you understand substantively why they offer you a lot of different long-term holds and opportunities across the board. Then we're going to get into the actual coins and the price points and understand what those coins can deliver when you buy them at the right price point, even in a downturning market. We'll be looking at everything from the sandbox to Decentraland and also Aave investments, but also we'll be looking at where Ethereum and Bitcoin are going right now and how their indication of where a downturning market is going. Plus, we'll be looking at a series of 3 external events which are signaling a downturn of all financial markets, whether it's crypto or metaverse, and why those 3 external markets you need to watch and how they can give you a price point to get into the metaverse even cheaper. In this video, we're going to learn the best metaverse cryptocurrency coins of 2022 to invest in, what they are, what they deliver, what those metaverses are like, and then we're going to show you where to buy in and what price point to focus. A downturning market that has not yet found its bottom. I'll explain what a bottom is and how to buy cheap so that you can hold long term, because these are not coins you're going to likely to sell out. These are coins you're going to buy and hold long term and make big investments across the board. It's the Metaverse, it's LALATE, and it's crypto, and it's only here on LALATE 2 times a day. We're going to learn about all those incredible coins, and the details start right now, but first go into this video and subscribe. You're watching the #3 most watched financial news channel in America and the biggest in the United States for Metaverse cryptocurrency investing, with a new show coming to the channel in just a few days just on how to make money in the Metaverse separate from the actual crypto investing. Those details and more, subscribe, like the video, and consider becoming a member. Let's go right into the Metaverse by understanding the environments of the 3 platforms and understanding what Metaverse means for you as well. The Metaverse is a different platform for different companies. It's an environment in which you look at it and it looks a little bit like a video game, looks a little bit like a emoji, looks a little bit like a lot of fun and animation. But what a metaverse looks like depends on which metaverse you're looking at. In the case of cryptocurrency, there's really 3 major platforms for metaverse, and those are Aave, which has its own coin, that's it, and Decentraland, which has its own coin, that's it, and then the Sandbox, which has its own coin as well. Now, when investing, people look at investing in different ways. They like to have, 5 EV electric vehicle stocks, or they just want to have 1. In the case of metaverse cryptocurrency, I want you to have at least Decentraland. I think it's the best. The second best, I believe, is the Sandbox, and the third best, I believe, is Aave Investments. Now, let me go over substantively why I think one is better than the other, and then we're going to go over how to buy them, price point, and where the prices are going on them and price predictions. All right, different metaverses. Each company has their own environment, an environment in which you reach by going to a website, and then they send you into the digital environment. It looks like a big animation game. Very simple across the board. Now, of the 3, I like Decentraland the best. Why? For many, many reasons. 1, it functionally works better, in my opinion. 2, it looks better. 3, it economically makes more sense. People are making a lot of money on Decentraland. Not to say they're not making money on the other platforms, but they really make money easier, more conceptually better in Decentraland. It's a series of plots, like a plot map when you go to buy a parcel of land in the United States. A plot map, you buy a plot, then you make money on the plot, or you rent the plot, or you rent out the plot, and you make money based upon the piece of real estate. Very, very interesting, easy concept to conceptualize. If you've ever invested in any type of business, whether you're a side hustle or a real estate person, whether renting or not renting, you can understand. Open a barbershop on a corner or renting the corner to the barbershop, very conceptualized in the real life. Decentraland, Much the same thing, just digitalized. Very, very simple across the board. The way to make money in the metaverse, that's a whole nother show coming to this channel. But let's understand, Decentraland, the commerce coin of Decentraland is Decentraland. The platform is Decentraland, and the business is called Decentraland. Of the three, I believe it's the best to invest in. Sandbox is second best. A lot of coverage. They have a lot of branding allegiances, which are often good. But in some universes, branding allegiances are just a lot of way to get attention, hype, and not necessarily the economics. When I look at the way the platforms are built out, I like the way Decentraland as a platform is built out. I like economically, financially, the way it works. And then Axie Investments. So the three, I like them all. I like them all, but I really like Decentraland leaps and bounds a lot more. Sandbox a little bit less, and then Axie much further back. Now, those are the three platforms. They're live. They're making money. People are making money. They've been around more than 10 seconds. Facebook, rebranded as Meta, is not yet live and won't be live for a little bit of time. When it goes live, Meta or Facebook, then expect these three companies to actually skyrocket on valuation, go up really high. It's very interesting, very simple concept. There's a lot of similarities to other things we've seen in the last 2 years, 5 years. Tesla got into electric vehicles. At the time, certainly not Ford, GM. Now Ford and GM are into electric vehicles. Do you think that Tesla gets valued higher, or lose market share and gets devalued? A lot of different ways to look at the situation, but I think that the bigger the industry is, then the bigger pie there is at issue. Meaning that as Ford and GM went into electric vehicles, it didn't make the market lower in valuation, it made the market bigger. And that is what will happen when Facebook launches its metaverse. It'll be a bigger market value, and that bigger market value will still have Decentraland, Axie, and Sandbox as players, but now they'll be players in a bigger market. Instead of a $10 market, a $200 market. And while their market share may be reduced, the market is bigger. That's why I like these investments. Number two, I want them as holds. I don't want them as trading. So I'm not buying them to trade them. I'm not buying them to sell them in 2 months. I'm not buying to sell them in 3 months. These are things you're going to be holding for a while. Very simple. Very simple. All right. So now with that, let's go over how to buy them at a great price. There's a lot of different ways to look at buying and holding things. Some people would say, you know what, just buy real estate in a great neighborhood. Who cares what the price is? Hold it for 30 years. It'll go up in price. Sure. But a lot of people say, but I still want to steal the real estate. I still want to really steal the valuation. That's my approach for Metaverse coins. I believe that if you bought them at any price point and held them for a couple of years, they're going to all go up substantially. But I still want to steal it. I want to get it really cheap. And if you've been watching this channel, I've been covering these coins for a long time. And let me tell you what's happened over that time. Here is Decentraland. You're looking at one of the platforms you can buy it on, Gemini. You're looking at a one-day chart. The one-day chart is red. It's down. But let me bring you out to where it really started getting exciting, which is right before Halloween. And I got to go out a little bit more. Here we go. So Decentraland, it's starting to become a little bit hard to see it because we're now getting out past almost the 3-month chart. But here you go. Decentraland was a coin which I covered for much of all of last year. It was 50 cents. It was 70 cents. It was 50 cents to 70 cents. It was just all that number for a very, very long time. In a particular week, right before Halloween, Facebook, the company then known as Facebook, made an announcement that it was investing billions of dollars in building out its own metaverse. Hey, this was a no-brainer. We already knew what Decentraland did. It already had its own metaverse. So Decentraland, which had its own metaverse, was sitting around and everyone was hearing the news that Facebook was going into launching its own metaverse. Well, obviously, a company that's already first to market like Decentraland, or second or third to market, certainly before Facebook, would have a higher valuation. I said buy. It's no-brainer. It's easy conceptually, financially. Buy Decentraland because Facebook is going into the same market in which Decentraland is going into. 2 days later, the news became more robust, and Facebook said we're rebranding as Meta. That's even more hands in. So when I recommended people to buy Decentraland, it was 70 cents right before Halloween. The second announcement from Facebook brought Decentraland right up. And you're looking at this right up. I'm going to jump my mouse to the chart. Hopefully you see it. It's on the very left side. It jumped all the way up to about 294 in about 2 days. It was very abrupt. I told viewers it's going to fall shortly thereafter, and then we'll trade higher. That's what happens. People sell out because they've owned it for many years, and they're going to take their profits. But I said hold. People held. And I said I was going to go to $5 by Christmas. It didn't go but $5 by Christmas. It went to $5 in about 2 weeks. So it went to $6. I said, get ready for a lot of craziness, because this is not a coin that has a lot of volatility. Decentraland is not a volatile coin. It's a very, very bland coin, which I like. It's a very, it's the Ford stock of crypto. It's just very boring, flat stock. So in a way, you're not going to wake up one morning and see 80% of your valuation gone. Which is good. It doesn't have that risk that you think about with crypto, where things just have insane price escalation, price devaluation in just matters of hours. So here we are. It started to come down. No predictions. No surprise about that. We're looking at I think we're at the 3-month chart. So you see this downward trend line here, but it's still relatively flat. So we went 340, then 310, then 380, then 320, then 290, then we broke the 300, 280. And around here is where this crypto crash started. There was a crypto crash that started, and we folks are really in almost our second week of this crash. I featured crashes on this channel for a while, and I'll go over what a crash is in a second, because it's very important to understand this. But let's pull in tighter to understand what's going on with Decentraland in the last. Now it's 1 month. Here's 1 month. 330. Here's the crash, really coming in hard. 280. Whammo. $2. Whammo. 190. Rebounding, coming up a little higher. 220. So there you go. It has come up from its lows. Could it retest those lows? Absolutely. So this is interesting. How low have we gotten in this crash? 193, 187, but now we're at 220. So don't hit your feet and say, oh, darn, I wish I got in 187. You will have that opportunity again. This crash is far from over. Now, let me go over first the concept of crashes. Then I want to go over what's going on with Bit and Ethereum as indications of where to buy your Metaverse coins. And the analysis for Decentraland is the same for Sandbox and Axie. First, is Decentraland going back to 70 cents? No. So let's not be fake or lie to ourselves. Decentraland is not going back to 70 cents. So do not hold out for 70 cents, because that's not available. For my viewers who bought it 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, good, you got it. Do not sell that position. Hold it as long as you are on planet Earth, or until something dramatically changes, because that is a great buy position. For anyone who didn't buy it then and wants to buy it, 70 cents? No longer reality. $1? No. $5? No, we don't have to wait to go to $5. We're clearly lower. $2, $1. You'd be surprised how low Decentraland will go, but I don't think it's going to go into the low $1 range. It could go into the high $1 range. Don't be surprised by it. These things have pops. Now let's go to the concept of a crash. In the case of crypto, somewhere along the land, crypto got this sort of ridiculous, ignorant, bizarre idea among young non-stock investors that crashes are dips. They ain't dips. A crash is this. Something going straight down and keep on going down. That's a crash. It's going straight down. This, let me show you what a dip is. Straight, dip, up. Or up, dip, up. Or down, dip, up. It's a dip. It literally looks like a dip. A crash is not a dip. Okay, so if you're in a downturning market, a crashing market, you are not in a dip. What do? You wait till you find the bottom. What's the bottom? Well, this is not the bottom up here. We're going down. We're trying to find the bottom. The bottom is like going to the basement of a building. We're still not at the basement. Until we're to the basement, do not buy. And people think, oh, it's down, 20 cents. It's a dip. Buy. No, wait till you're at the bottom. And the bottom will stay there for at least a half a day or 2 or 3 days. And then you clearly have found the bottom. You don't do that, you'll lose your shirt. I've had countless people who have lost their shirt by thinking that 25 cents was the bottom on Doge, or thinking that that 33 cents was a dip on Doge. It was not. It was the peak, and that it was going to come back down and was never going to go back down up to 33 cents anytime later this year. So people have lost their shirts by thinking, rose-colored glasses, too optimistic, that something was the bottom. It was not. Do not be afraid to ride things to the bottom. And when you do and you take your time, you're going to get things cheap. All right. So that is how to approach a bottom market. Decentraland, I don't think it's going to go 70 cents. I think it's going to go into the dollars, 190, 180, and it already has, but I think it'll do it again. And don't be rushing it. There's no rush on buying your Metaverse coins. Now, before I get into Ethereum and before I get into Bit, I want to go into something very, very, very easy for you to do for analyzing when to buy Metaverse coins. Again, we already know what we're buying. Now the question is, when are we buying? There are three major events that are really out there, that almost four at this point, that are really impacting your price entrances on stocks, on bonds, on crypto, and Metaverse crypto. And they are, the first one is the most important one, Vladimir Putin and Ukraine. The more you hear about Vladimir Putin and Ukraine threats of invasion, the more all those instruments are going to go down. Stocks, bonds may go up actually. Stocks, crypto, and Metaverse crypto. They will continue to go down. Every threat that looks more manifested, more real, more scary, they will go down. And we are far from over on this. Now, if there's a treaty or an agreement and everyone settles everything is going to skyrocket as well. So understand the backside of it. And we have days, if not weeks, until this Russia situation, Ukraine, is settled. That's number one. Number two, the Federals, that is of levels of 1 to 10, that is like 11 on high alert that could impact fluctuations in the markets. About a 3 or 4 is the interest rate spikes. We already know the Federal Reserve is raising interest rate spikes in March. So that is already embedded in the market. It's not an unforeseen risk. The unforeseen risk is really the two fours out there on a 0 to 10. First, corporate earnings. How much are corporate earnings going to, in Q1 reporting, going to be impacted by Omicron supply chain inflationary issues? We don't know. And corporate earnings are going to start coming on in. They start looking bad. We have big issues. Second one is Omicron and its inflationary impacts. We're going to see the new inflationary numbers from Omicron and its impact on January's inflationary numbers in early February. It came in at 8% for the month of December. I predicted this nearly a year ago, that I said it was going to be I said it was going to be 8%. It came in 7.5%, and that was not going to be temporary. It was not going to be transitory. If you see an inflationary number come in for January 2022 at 6, 7, or God forbid, even another 8%, markets are really going to fall. They're going to fall. This is not something that's supposed to be happening. That means that the Federal Reserve would have gotten it wrong again. That Wall Street got it wrong again, and that I got it right again. I mean, my prediction of 8% inflation in December 2021 was something no one was saying. And that is really almost a 4 in bad news. On a 0 to 10, with 10 being worse, is like a 4. Corporate earnings also badly impacted. If they are from Q1, also a 4. This is all going to crash and bring down crypto and your Metaverse coins. This is very, very simple concepts. Very, very simple concepts. All right. There is another gauge that you can really use, and it's very, very helpful. And what I want to go over with you is that gauge right now. It is Bitcoin and Ethereum. The fluctuations on Bitcoin and Ethereum will give you an indication of when your Metaverse coins are going to be cheaper. Why? Very, very easy to understand this. When Bitcoin and Ethereum go down, they draw down all their crypto. When they go up, they don't bring them up. Let's say that again. When they go down, they bring other crypto down. But when they go up, they don't bring them up. So Now, this is sort of a compound analysis. Why? Because I just told you that there's these other events like Russia, the Federal Reserve, corporate earnings. They're going to bring Bit and Ethereum down as well. So you may see the impact on Bit or Ethereum first before you see it on your coins. But if you're watching those events, like I'm telling you, watch Russia, then you will know when your Metaverse coins will be cheaper. So here we go with Bit and Ethereum. And I'm going to insert some Bit and Ethereum coverage, which I haven't done a lot of in recent weeks because this channel used to do really a lot more crypto. We've been focusing on just Metaverse crypto lately. But here's Bitcoin, 35,000. Folks, that's really cheap. My opinion is if you want to have a long-term holds in addition to Metaverse coins, I'm going off subject, but I want to put it right here. If you want long-term holds, I believe that Bitcoin, anything for Bitcoin in the high 20,000 range is a great buy and hold. I've always said Bitcoin 28,000, 27,000, 25,000, if you could even grab it, but I don't know if you can, is a great long-term hold because most people think that Bitcoin will go to 100,000. It'll certainly go to 70,000. If you grab it at 25 or 27, that means you'll be up 300%. That is a lot better than grabbing at 40,000 and it goes up to 80,000, which is 200%, which is not, I'm not very excited about 200% return on my money. I can do that in a lot of other stocks in a very short period of time. Here's Ethereum though. Wow. Did you see that? Yeah, you see that. That's a 1-day chart on Ethereum. It's nosediving. So how low do I want Ethereum to go? I've featured Ethereum on this channel for over almost a year. I've seen Ethereum go to 1,700. I've seen Ethereum go to 1,900. It generally falls in $200 increments. So if it goes from 2,300 to 2,100, then 2,100 to 1,900, then 1,900 to 1,700, you may say, hey, I love Metaverse, but I gotta get some Ethereum at 1,700. This is insanely cheap. Most people think Ethereum is going to $10,000 in the next year or 2 years. So you can do the math. If you got Ethereum at 1,700 and it goes to 10,000, that is a 900% return on your investment, almost 800% return on your investment. That's a bigger return on your investment than a cheap bit buy. So now, what should you use for your price projections for Ethereum and Bit, helping you to determine when to buy your Metaverse coins? It's these resistance levels. Look at these resistance levels. Let's jump in right to Bit right now. I mean, look at what's going on with Bit in 24 hours. Let's pull out longer, 7 days. Yeah. You see this, the crash came in, it broke through resistance level here and then came up. It's in a holding place right here. This is a 7-day chart. You don't usually do a resistance level as a 7-day chart, but look, it's holding at a 36. If Bit breaks to the 36, it's going into the low 30s, high 20s. That means your Metaverse coins are really falling badly. Let's look at Ethereum as a gauge. 1-day chart. Let's look. Oh, sure. Let me jump in here. Okay. Here's Ethereum 1-day chart. Let's look at 7-day chart. You see it's a holding place. There's sort of resistance level about 2,200. Again, if Ethereum breaks under 2,000, you just, everything is getting cheap. Everything will be cheap. Ethereum will be cheap, Bit will be cheap, and Metaverse will be very cheap. There you go. You want to look out further so we see how this has been over the last few months? Yeah. Look at that resistance level here. What is resistance level? Something that holds something from going lower, something that holds it from going higher. Here's the resistance level right here. 1,800. I told you. I featured Ethereum on this channel at 1,700. I featured Bit at 28,000. The opportunities didn't exist very long, just a few days or a day and a half or 2 days. It's not a long opportunity to get in. But again, if you want to trade them, you can. I'd rather hold them. I just think it's a great price. And there have been so many times when people thought, "Oh, Ethereum, 3,400 is a great price." I'm like, no. I like Ethereum in the sub 2000s. No, you can't buy Ethereum in the sub 2000. Yeah, you can. Look, it's 2,400. Ethereum moves in increments of $200 generally per day. So we are 1, 2, 3. We're 4 more bad days anytime. Doesn't have to be in consecutive days this week, but 4 more days from getting into a price point in which I'm like, why would you not buy it? And that's what's important across the board. So a lot to digest in one video. I hope this video has been helpful for you. You see what I try to do is I first try to show you the metaverse, what it is. Then I try to show you the different metaverses. Then I try to show you the different choices of coins to buy in the metaverse, Decentraland, Axie, and the Sandbox. Show you, ultimately it's your determination whether you want to buy one metaverse crypto coin or 3. I want you to buy, I like Decentraland leaps and bounds, and I like Sandbox the next best. You don't have to buy 3. You can just buy 1. You can buy 2. Then I want you to really buy things cheap. I want you to be like a vulture. I want you to take your time. Don't be anxious. Wait and go in and grab it when it's cheap. Now, there's a lot of alert systems you can use on platforms like Gemini that sends you an alert when things get under its price point. Don't set the alerts right where you want to buy it. Set the alerts higher so that if you're not watching crypto for like 3 days or something, maybe you're busy, maybe you're planning a vacation and you're watching other stuff, or maybe you have a golf tournament for 2 or 3 days and you're just not watching stuff. Set those price alerts a little bit higher so that's like, hey, things are getting cheap. Oh, they're getting cheap? Okay, now I need to start watching. So for example, Ethereum, let's say you wanted to buy Ethereum. You would not set the price alerts at 1900 or 1800. You would set the price alert at 2000. We're $300 away approximately. So you want to give yourself some time to start getting back to the computer, getting back to the platforms to say, okay, I got to pay attention. Things are getting really attractive to buy now. And then finally, I haven't covered this in a long time. Calculate it out. Write out how much, what price point. So get that pen. I want Decentraland this amount at this price. So you know exactly how much it's going to cost you. I want to spend, $5,000 Decentraland, which will be this amount after transactional fees. Have it all ready because these events happen fast. You need to have this written down for you. And ultimately, if it gets lower, then fine, you can buy a little bit more. Don't do these calculations after it's getting cheap, because at that point, you'll be rushing and it'll be a little too frantic for you across the board. And with that, jump in the live chat on this channel, send me private messages, and tell your friends to come on over to the best, the most comprehensive, and the most in-depth metaverse cryptocurrency coverage on the net. It's LALATE, America's #3 most watched financial news channel. And I want you part of this incredible family, so hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member to this incredible channel and family. Also sign up for those LA alerts. A link to it is under the video's description as well. Stay informed, stay focused, get ready to get into that position, understand each of the platforms, and get ready for that new show just about the metaverse coming to this channel in just a few days. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.